Hello everybody, it's your boy vshojo, and we're back again with some more sseth content. This is Company of Heroes 2 review. I've never played the Company of Heroes games, but I've been interested. I know it's an RTS about world wars, so it could be cool. Let's see. This is number 2.
Hey people, Seth here. Fellas, I gotta confess, I'm down bad. I got caught peeing in the sink. Now, I don't think that
First time, bro, being in the sink, that's like a rite of passage for when you become a man. It's when you know, can I do it? Yes, I can. Should I do it? Probably not, you disgusting motherfucker. Okay, stop. What are you doing? There's a toilet probably like not even a meter by the sink. What are you doing? Come on, stop. Chill, bro. Come on.
That's weird. It's a victimless crime, just like punching someone in the dark. If the sink is so forbidden to urination, then why is it placed so perfectly, reducing my hesitation? But I feel embarrassed. No, not because I did it, but because I got caught. I'm not gonna stop. I'll just get better. For the future, I'm gonna trick shot my stream around the sink bowl. That's a silent projectile. Effectively, I'm applying a suppressor to my gun barrel. That way, members of my family cannot ambush me so easily, and I will not be shamed by people who immediately revert to authoritarian fascist statements such as, "We have 2 toilets. Why did you use the sink?" Listen, I saved water. I saved lives. Maybe a few decades from now, there'd be entire villages in sub-Saharan Africa singing songs of praise over how much water I saved. And you know what? All I had to do was unload my fire hose in a kitchen sink. Company of Heroes 2, strangely enough, is the topic of this video. It is an old game played by old men, namely us. Company of Heroes 2 is a squad-based RTS covering...
I mean, it doesn't look that bad, to be honest. The graphics look okay, probably 2007-8ish, right?
The events of World War II, a fictional war where Germany hired Hugo Boss to design their fashionable blitz of Europe. Russia managed to kill 24 million of their own people, and the US...
Listen, I recently played Hearts of Iron 4 a little bit, so I know some stuff. Okay, a little bit.
Greatly increased the temperature of 2 neighborhoods in Southeast Asia. All this happened while the UK sat in a corner, still wondering why marching all your men single file into machine gun fire during World War I may impact their ability to participate in the sequel. Basically, a sequence of events so absurd that we depart from the realm of fiction into history. Everything seen here is not only real, it's historically accurate. Yes, the blast radius of a single grenade, approximately the same size as everything you love and cherish. Yes, the trajectory of a mortar shell, statistically, by random...
Are those real mortars? Why is the barrel cut off? That's like me in the morning, but I've had one of those horror dreams. No erection.
Chance will always land perfectly on a soldier's head, killing at least 3 more. Yes, a machine gun will pin every squad on the map. That is, unless you own the machine gun, in which case it pins one enemy, gets flanked, and eats a Molotov to the face. Tanks counter infantry. Anti-tanks, or gets flanked and eats a Molotov to the face.
That guy changed his uniform by getting grenaded. How?
Tanks counter infantry. Anti-tanks, or AT, counter tanks. But, pray tell, what counters an anti-tank? Answer, the same tank driving towards you. Combat is a mystery. Sometimes, the enemy calls in air support, pinning our infantry. So, logically, I shoot them down. The burning plane crashes into my friend's base, taking out the rest of his infantry. Here is the largest tank in the game, the King Tiger.
I was gonna say, this game looks awesome. And then... what the hell is that?
Tiger. Notice, standard for vehicles of its time, the traditional German Ahegao paint job. One of the greatest features of this game is custom content, because when I pick a shitty anime faceplate, you get no choice in the matter. You're forced to download...
Hey, Astolfo, let's go.
The same shitty anime faceplate, which, when inspected closely, reveals instructions on how to make meth. I believe Central Intelligence can employ this in the future. We join someone's game, forcibly download illegal content to their PC, and do a sting operation on their residence. If they start screaming civil liberties or probable cause, cite Penal Code 129, paragraph 27, subsection C, which states, anyone caught playing Hearts of Iron 4, Europa Universalis, or Company of Heroes 2 is probably a domestic terrorist. I also really enjoy...
I've been on the forums of some of those games. Probably true.
setting my victory strike to FPS killer. I almost feel like it's an obligation. You see, one of my friends doesn't exactly have the best computer. This encourages him to play his very best, because if he loses, he's not just gonna lose the game. His PC will overheat and die, killing him in the explosion. But I'm getting off track. Gameplay. You produce
Damn!
units to capture and hold territory. The more territory you hold, the higher your income to spend on units and upgrades. Your objective is to either take and hold certain key positions or destroy the enemy HQ. Very simple. Infantry come in squads of 4 to 6. Each of these individuals can fight and die on the battlefield, but as long as the squad stays alive, you can replace your dead soldiers. This is infinitely cheaper than ordering a fresh new squad. This is a micro-intensive RTS where positioning matters. There's a cover system. 4 dudes hiding behind a cow isn't great, but it's better than getting capped in the middle of the street. Sandbags, broken vehicles, or even a domestic dwelling offer the best protection. However, terrain is dynamic. A tank shell can transform brick walls into brick memories. A howitzer pancakes buildings into rubble and any men inside into red stains. And artillery fire causes deformation of the soil, leaving craters that provide cover in the process. Basically, in 1941,
when was this game made? Why do we not have these things now?
We already knew how to terraform. We can take anything we see and make it worse. There's also ice. I don't really talk about it because having ice implies that you're playing a winter map, which nobody does because they suck. Ice breaks on impact. It's a great form of population control and a good way to lose your tank. Vehicles are a little
just as the Germans.
Different. In general, the distance, angle, size, wind resistance, conductivity, and horoscope of the ammunition against the horoscope of the armor determines damage. Most 88mm shells are made in June, making them a cancer, while most of the bulk production of German armor was late September, making it a Libra. Cancer typically defeats Libra, unless Mercury is in retrograde, in which case all bets are off. A tank's armor is strongest at the
I did not know Seth was a 40-year-old woman.
Front, which means the back and side is ripe for the taking. Fighting a tank directly is a terrible idea. Your shots won't do much if they even connect. You'll know true terror when you see every anti-tank gun shoot the same target, only to hear a characteristic ting, which means their front plate is so thick that every shell just bounced off. On the bright side, the heavier the tank, the slower it moves. So we flank, outmaneuver, and ambush them instead. And if that doesn't work, there's always the Soviet approach, where I take a T-34 and ram it into your tank. Yes, Germans had the best tanks, but the Soviets designed their gas pedal in reverse. Once you start the ignition, you press the pedal to stop the tank. If, hypothetically, your head has been blown off by
no way, this is real, right? No.
shrapnel, your foot will release the pedal. The engine will accelerate and take out one of the best tanks in the world.
Yeah, it's a little loud.
And then you make another. Disclaimer, I don't know if this is true. My sources are some schizophrenic guy whose bathroom was red with chicken blood. And before you say, Seth, I don't think he sounds reliable, I'll have you know, he's a practicing doctor.
Listen, I'm doubting that a little bit. But then again, it is Russia. And most of their tactics in war is, you over there, charge. You behind him, pick up his weapon when he dies. You behind him, pick up his weapon when he dies. And so forth.
Doctor, let's talk about the races. There's 5 in total. First, let's talk about the bad guys. The British. I'm kidding. The Orcs are a defensive faction. They can lock down large areas of the map with emplacements.
Are the British orcs?
And their tanks feature some of the best armor in the game. Oh, whoa. I never saw the decals close up. Yo, by the way, this is a normal British tank. This is a real Cromwell. Bro, this is real. Everybody gangster until the Churchill starts vaping. They do temporarily suffer from a lack of manpower. That is, until you reach late game, where Saruman begins to command the very mud to rise up and reinforce your squads with urukai. Goblins are going to give out gigantic loans. Reinforce your squads with urukai. Goblins are going to give out gigantic loans with even higher interest to all of their allies. By the end of the war, I expect their banks to hold most of the gold on the planet. But in this game, they actually fight. They can spam their basic unit and never lose a single engagement.
Why do they look cool? Why do they look so cool compared to the other uniforms?
Because, unlike everybody else, they don't retreat. They just park an ambulance outside and spawn camp your base. If you even dare to counter them, they'll spam rangers instead. Homo Sovieticus. This game's release was met with heavy criticism from Russia.
Brave Soviet heroically T-pose and teleports to the fucking machine gun.
Stating that portraying the Eastern Front as a slaughterhouse where civilians were conscripted to fight with a single lever-action rifle between 5 or 6 people was inaccurate, because by the time you get to use it, realistically, you're a group of free. In this game, the Russian army works much the same way. Realistically, you're a group of free. In this game, the Russian army works much the same way. Everything and everyone is mass-produced, and the Russian army works much the same way. Everything and everyone is mass-produced and expendable. Our tanks are built like shit. Our men leave their homes with teary eyes, domestically abusing their wife one last time because they know full well they might not come back. The High Elves feature the 2 best vehicles, know full well they might not come back. The High Elves
we don't get
feature the 2 best vehicles in the game.
That? Poland.
The Kubelwagen, which has the highest RPM in the entire game. It also dies from a mild gust of wind, which makes keeping it alive all the more interesting. And this is a Sturmtiger. The gun is so huge that it must be reloaded externally by the crew for 30 seconds. And this is what it sounds like when it fires.
Bro, the shell was as big as the other vehicle. Is that a real thing?
Oberkommando Vest are highly mobile and aggressive. Their playstyle is keep pushing the front line until you win, and occasionally send a Kubelwagen into their back line. And finally, we have the Germans. I don't like playing the Deutsch. Everything is incredibly bureaucratic, just like Germany. Oh nein, Entschuldigung, we have not escalated the battle phase. Please continue losing a little longer before we can authorize the countermeasure for what you're currently losing to. Wehrmacht has some of the greatest variety in units and tactics, but I am very bad at playing them. I'm highly emotional and unstable, so yes, this will affect my opinion. There's many ways to play this game. Against AI, against players, 1v1, 2v2, anything is possible. But let me tell you the worst way to play this game. 4v4 versus expert AI.
Heck, fucking 4 experts? Hell yeah, I'm ready to get butt pounded.
What do you mean butt pounded? This is joy.
That sounds like a nice Friday, brother. What's the problem?
Do you not feel mirth?
Which is what we've been doing for the past few weeks. It's a bonding exercise, a form of collective suffering that brings us closer together. Allow me to summarize that experience.
Fucking miserable after that game. Damn.
Playing against expert AI is like you're Goku in a hyperbolic time chamber. You get so mad so fast. You're training years in just days. You're learning forms of anger that take decades to develop. My life is currently one of those Fortnite shirts you see around town, except instead it says eat, sleep, scream, repeat. I fucking hate this game. I lied. It's not fun. You go in with hope. You come out a broken, hollow husk of your former self. But why? Because expert gets everything you get, except double. Plus, perfect reflexes, map hack, and
bro, I hate games that do that. Is it so hard to just improve the AI? Why must you make them cheat? Huh? That sucks.
the ability to bend reality. You're going to be eating your first tank shell before 5 minutes into the game. You're going to make progress only to see 3 red flares drop on top of you, undoing all of your progress. You're going to look away for a split second and see your whole squad disappear. You're going to play the game perfectly and still lose. In summary, Company of Heroes 2. I hate it. It's great. But before I continue, in summary, Company of Heroes 2.
Absolute garbage, holy shit now. About you design a proper AI instead of relying on free resources for much difficult to get them. Rather keep money grubbing gold, man. I don't know what that word means, so I'm not gonna pronounce it. It might be racist. looking ass company.
Hate it. It's great. But before I continue, consider the following. That purchasing a legitimate copy of the base game allows you to play only 2 of the 5 possible factions. That's right. You only get to play only 2 of
Is that supposed to be German? I know that is obviously the Russians, but what is that?
the 5 possible factions. That's right. You only get to play Wehrmacht and the Soviets. The rest is DLC. Surely
Is this a Paradox game? It's a Paradox game, right?
that's not too bad, right? I mean, it's the least they can ask of us to buy the base game for $20 and then buy the other 3 races for $40. But wait, it gets better. Most of the game features are locked behind faction commanders, which can be purchased with money.
Wow.
For reference, an entire faction is the same cost as 4 commanders. However, and people are very quick to point this out, you could also earn them with in-game currency using the greatest loot box ever made. I've played over 100 hours.
When was this game made? I thought loot boxes were a semi-new concept. These motherfuckers were... Bro.
Do you know the number of times I dropped currency free? Do you know how many more I need to earn a commander? 27. I love simping for corporations. I love cash shops. I love that yummy high fructose corn syrup. I love the United Nations. With this in mind, I strongly encourage anyone interested to visit a third-party reseller instead. The copy you're looking for is the Master Collection. This should include all the races, but instead of $60, you spend $15. Yes, I know, everyone and their mother is scared of CD key resellers. I bought
I might have or might have not bought about 99% of the games I own from those CDK places, okay? I have had 0 problems so far. So I don't know why some people be scared.
About 100 keys online. Every single one worked. Then I once bought a boxed copy of Fallout Tactics from the store, which just had an empty case with a code inside. That code didn't work. So, from my experience, putting my trust in a random Polish stranger gives me better results. As always, more content to come, so stay tuned. This video is a test to see how quickly I could churn something out. Turns out for creative output, in the absence of passion, vitriol is an entirely viable substitute. A warm thanks to the many members of the Merchants Guild generously funding and bankrolling these videos. You're all truly wonderful. Have a good one.
That poor horse. Hey, you know the good thing about not looking at YouTube for like months on end is you have like 6 set videos to look at after you come back. Watch. Probably watch is the correct terminology, right? Not look at. I'm stupid, okay? You gotta forgive me. Anyway, I hope y'all enjoy this. I'm gonna be streaming tomorrow probably. Check out some more info on the Discord. And I'm gonna see y'all next time, okay? I'm probably not gonna disappear again soon. Probably.